From vast, untouched wilderness to a global superpower, the story of America is a sprawling, epic tale of ambition, conflict, and transformation. How did a collection of fledgling colonies on the edge of a continent become the nation we know today? Join us as we journey through the pivotal moments that forged the United States of America. Our story begins not with a new world, but with an old one colliding with another. In 1492, Christopher Columbus's voyages across the Atlantic ignited a firestorm of European exploration for the indigenous peoples who had inhabited these lands for millennia. This arrival was a cataclysm, bringing disease, displacement, and conflict that would irrevocably alter their world. Over the next 2 centuries, powers like Spain, France, and England vied for control, dotting the landscape with settlements. It was England that established a firm foothold along the East Coast, creating 13 distinct colonies. These were societies built on hope and hardship, populated by those seeking religious freedom, economic opportunity, or for countless thousands of Africans forced into the brutal transatlantic slave trade, a life of unimaginable bondage. These diverse colonies, from the puritanical north to the agrarian south, began to develop unique identities, yet they were all bound by one common thread. They were subjects of the British Crown. But for how long? By the mid-18th century, tensions were simmering. The colonists, having carved out lives for themselves an ocean away from their rulers, grew increasingly resentful of British control and taxation without representation. Cries of liberty echoed from Boston to Charleston. This bubbling discontent erupted into open rebellion. In 1786, a group of audacious thinkers and leaders put pen to paper, drafting the Declaration of Independence. This revolutionary document declared that the 13 colonies were now free and independent states, articulating the then radical idea that all men are created equal with certain unalienable rights. Winning the war was one thing, building a nation was another. The initial attempt, the Articles of Confederation, proved too weak to hold the young country together. So, in 1787, delegates convened in Philadelphia to forge a new framework. The result was the United States Constitution, a brilliant and enduring document that established a federal republic with a system of checks and balances. It was a blueprint for a government of the people, by the people, for the people, a bold experiment in self-governance that would be tested time and time again. With a new government in place, the 19th century became an era of explosive growth and westward expansion, driven by the idea of manifest destiny, the belief in a divinely ordained right to expand. The nation pushed its borders across the continent. This relentless drive came through purchases like the Louisiana Purchase, treaties and violent conflicts that displaced Native American tribes from their ancestral lands. The country was growing, but it was also cracking under the weight of a fundamental contradiction. How could a nation founded on the principle of liberty simultaneously enslave millions of its people? The issue of slavery became the unhealable wound of America. The economic and cultural divide between the industrial North and the agrarian, slave-holding South widened until it became an impassable chasm. In 1861, the nation turned on itself in the Civil War. This brutal, bloody conflict, the deadliest in American history, raged for 4 long years. The Union's victory in 1865 preserved the nation, and with the passage of the 13th Amendment, finally abolished the institution of slavery. But the scars of the war and the challenge of racial equality would shape the country for generations to come. The dawn of the 20th century saw America step onto the world stage. The country's industrial might was unleashed during World War I. And after the devastation of World War II, the United States emerged as one of two global superpowers, alongside the Soviet Union. This kicked off the Cold War, a decades-long ideological struggle between democracy and communism that defined global politics and fueled a terrifying nuclear arms race. The threat of annihilation loomed large, yet this era also saw incredible progress. Back home, the fight for freedom continued. The civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s challenged the deep-seated system of racial segregation and discrimination. Through nonviolent protest, courageous activism, and the powerful leadership of figures like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., African Americans and their allies fought for the soul of the nation. Landmark legislation like the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 were monumental victories in the long, ongoing struggle for racial justice. Simultaneously, a technological revolution was reshaping American life at a dizzying pace. The automobile gave rise to suburbs and a new sense of freedom. The telephone and television connected the nation as never before. And then came the internet, a digital frontier that would transform communication, commerce, and culture in ways that were once the stuff of science fiction. From the assembly line to the information age, innovation became a hallmark of the American identity. Today, the United States continues to grapple with its complex past while navigating the challenges of a rapidly changing world. The story of America is not a simple, clean narrative. It is a story of breathtaking triumphs and profound failures, of high ideals and harsh realities. It is a history marked by conflict and compromise, by the constant struggle to live up to its founding promise of liberty and justice for all. The American experiment is an ongoing one, a story that is still being written by every one of its citizens. Thank you so much for joining us on this whirlwind tour of American history. If you found this journey insightful, please give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you won't miss our next exploration into the past. We'll see you next time.